Yeah. Good evening. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is going to be a very interesting one. This is going to be very interesting. I first heard about this story, say about maybe a year and a half ago. And there's actually a whole documentary on it. I can't play a lot. I can't play any of it due to, copywritten reasons, but this was crazy. This was actually very crazy. First, let's see who we got in the building. My brother Rod Neal, LDBC or nothing. Daniel Mitchell, love is the word. Mind of Mansa Musa, salute. Truly chosen, salute, man. New to the channel, how you feel? Mr. Shelton, LDBC or nothing, salute. My brother Paul Carrick in the building. Anthony Bolton, 88 Sports Talk. Mike the Reaper, Flem, what up? Kondo, what up, brother? Good to see you, Big Block. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. So, without wasting any time, let's get into it. This woman, because that is a woman, all right, make no mistake about it. Xavier, salute. That's a woman. Her name is Norah Vincent. Okay? That is her name. And I'm assuming that is her dog. All right? She's from New York. She lived on the Lower East Side. And this is going to be a very interesting read for those of you that don't know. Yeah, Mr. Shelton, you thought it was... No. See, in New York, you walk way downtown in Manhattan, you see a lot of this. You see a lot of it. It's like it's normalized at this point. But I'm going to show you what's interesting with this particular story, because a lot of you don't know. So let me remove this woman's picture. And what we're going to do is we're going to share the screen. This is Norah Vincent, who chronicled passing as a man, is dead at 53 years old. A best-selling 2006 book about that experience, Self-Made Man, made her a media darling, but it cost her psychologically. For those of you that don't know her story, this woman, basically, I'm gonna dumb it down for y'all so y'all know. I'm not insulting anyone, but I like keeping things simple. I don't like to use big words and no, okay? Nah, Kondo, that's not a dude. That's a 53-year-old woman. What she did was she went undercover as a man. And it goofed her up so bad that when the experiment was over, she offed herself. Let that sink in for a second. Yeah, truly chosen. When I first heard this story, I couldn't believe it. I said, wait a minute. She did what? And being a man was so difficult. She literally said that we go through things that people can't comprehend. Now, men, there's a majority of men in here, right? We go through this every day. She paraded as a man. And when the experiment was over, it messed her up so bad because she couldn't fathom what we went through as men. She offed herself. Demon Kennedy, salute. Yep, she wrote a book. Let's read the article. I'm gonna pull up this other screen. If I miss you in the chat, just know that I love you. Norah Vincent in her 2001 in her neighborhood in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, like I said. For a book, she spent 18 months living as a man named Ned, putting him in hyper-masculine situations, okay? In the winter of 2003, Norah Vincent, a 35-year-old journalist, began to practice passing as a man. With the help of a makeup artist, she learned to simulate stubble by snipping bits of wool and painting them on her chin. She wore her hair already short, cut to a flat top, and bought a rectangular frame glasses to accentuate the angles of her face. She weight trained to build muscle in her chest and back, bound her breasts with two small sports bra, and wore a jacket strap stuffed full of soft prosthetic penis. She wore a jacket strap, a jock strap with a soft. She was wearing the strap on, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? She trained for months with a vocal coach at the Juilliard School in Manhattan, Juilliard, wherever the hell it is, who taught her to deepen her voice, taught her how to deepen her voice and to slow it down, to lean back as she spoke rather than leaning in, and to use her breath more efficiently. Then she ventured out to live as a man for 18 months, calling herself Ned, and chronicled the experience. This was a New York Times bestseller, Self-Made Man. This is her up top. This is also her at the bottom. Now, here's what's interesting. Her at the top, she looks normal here. Right here is her living as a man. Does she look happy on this cover? Now, I want to ask you something. Look at this book cover. Let me ask y'all guys something. You just in time, Queen. Young Hollywood, salute. You just in time. Why is it that she looks happy as a woman up top, but on the bottom, she looks miserable as a man? And the reason why I say that's not just for the picture, that's not just a picture for her freaking book, was because I already told you how this ends for her. I already told you. That means it must be really, really Macados Mac in the South. Salute. It must be really hard living like a man, ain't it? And let me inform you something, because I don't think they discussed this at any point. She still had it better. You know why? Because she was living as a white man.
What?
Okay, I'm not going to do it. But even living as a white man, look at her face. Let it sink in for a second. She couldn't take it. You see? Let's let that sink in. Let's continue. She did so in Self-Made Man. And when the book came out in 2006, it was nearly an instant bestseller. It made Miss Vincent a media darling. She appeared on 2020 on the Chris Colbert Report, where she and Stephen Colbert tease each other about football and penis size. I missed that, and I'm glad. But the book was no joke. It was a nuanced and thoughtful work. It drew comparisons to Black Like Me, a white journalist, John Howard Griffin's 1961 book about his experiences passing as a black man in the segregated Deep South. I know about that. David Camp, writing in the New York Times Best Book Review, called Miss Vince's book rich and audacious. Man, it got all these great reviews, right? Unbelievable. Miss Vincent died on July 6th at a clinic in Switzerland. She was 53. Her death, which was not reported at the time, was confirmed on Thursday by Justine Hardy, a friend. The death, she said, was medically assisted, or what is known as voluntary assisted death. Read that again, y'all. She didn't blow her brains out. She didn't hang herself. She didn't jump off a building head first. She didn't go to the Golden Gate Bridge and do it that way. She lived in New York. There's plenty of ways to do it. You could jump in front of a train. She didn't do none of that. She was in Switzerland and said, you know what? I'm done. Medically assisted. Okay? Miss Vincent was a lesbian. She was not a transgender or gender fluid. She was, however, interested in gender and identity. As a freelance contributor to the Los Angeles Times, the Village Voice, and the Advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come to my city, the Village Voice is their paper. It's Anthony Johnson's paper. For those of you that watch my boxing channel, you know what I just said. The Village Voice. That's their paper. She had written essays on those topics that inflamed some readers. She pissed a lot of people off. She was a libertarian. She tilted at postmodernism and multiculturalism. She argued for the rights of fetuses and against identity politics, which she saw as infantilizing, like it's late, y'all. Infantilizing and irresponsible. She did not believe that transsexuals were members of the opposite sex after they had surgery and had taken hormones, a position that led to one writer to label her as a bigot. She was a contrarian and proud of it. So she believed, like, once you cut your junk off and start taking hormones, you're no longer what you say you are, which means you can't participate in swimming meets, in boxing and MMA matches as a woman. They were not members of the opposite sex. That's what she says. So if she was around now, they would really not like her. Unbelievable. In her year and a half as living as Ned, that was her male name, Miss Vincent put him in a number of stereotypical hypermasculine situations. He joined a blue-collar bowling league. Though he was a terrible bowler, his teammates would kind of cheer him on. They thought he was gay, Miss Vincent learned later, because they thought he bowled like a girl. Now that's interesting because I did hear the audio about that. She had revealed to Joe Townsend in the building. Anthony Bolton, what up? Ryan Wright, salute. I heard the audio when she revealed to her, the guy she hung out with, that she was really a woman. They all said, yo, we just thought she was a gay dude, which I found hilarious. I said they were kind of onto her the whole time. They just never bothered her. They just said, see, just read it. But I heard the audio. I can't play it. You know what I'm saying? But they were like, Tim, what up? They were like, yo, we just thought she was a gay dude, but whatever. So, let me see. He spent weeks in a monastery with cloistered monks. He went to strip clubs and dated women. Now, y'all hear this, right? He went to strip clubs. This is Ned, the man she was parading as. Went to strip clubs and dated women. All right. Though he was rebuffed more often. More often than not in singles bars. He worked in sales, hustling coupon books and other low margin products door to door with fellow salesmen who, with their cartoon bravado, seemed drawn from the 1983 David Mamet play Glengarry Glen Ross. By the way, have y'all ever watched that movie, Glengarry Glen Ross? Watch that movie. It's dope. If you're into like, it's an acquired taste. I'm into shit like that. There was salespeople. Watch that. I recommend that. Glengarry Glen Ross. Finally, at an Iron John retreat, a therapeutic masculinity workshop, think drum circles and hero archetypes modeled on the work of the men's movement author Robert Bly, Ned began to lose it. Now listen to this, y'all. Ned began to lose it. Being Ned had worn Miss Vincent down. She felt alienated and disassociated. And after the retreat, she checked herself into a hospital for depression. Now, can I ask you a question? Was living like a man that bad that she couldn't take it? I'm asking. It can't be that bad, right? I mean, whenever we have an issue, what are we told? Man up. Stop being a bitch. I've heard women tell that to men. Stop being a bitch. You ever had a woman, fellas, you ever had a woman that you disagree with and she be like, yo, man, if you was a real man, bitch, you have no idea what it's like. Most of the people in here are black or people of color. You ever had a white person tell you that you're overreacting when you know you see racism on TV, on Facebook, on social media, anywhere? How enraged was you when you saw Philando Castile get blicked off? And when we saw the video, he was dying. And we're like, whoa, what's happening? And you saw the fucking Asian cop walk off like, fuck! What you mean, fuck? You're alive and breathing. He's dying. His girlfriend screaming in the backseat. The baby screaming. He's dying. And he had a legal carry. What the fuck? We were enraged. How many tweets? How many Instagram posts? How many? That's one of the posts I got that put me in Facebook jail before I just ended it. Oh, well, you don't know how hard a cop's job is. How many? And then you go to the page like, who's saying this to me? It's a faceless person from Kentucky. You just know it's a cracker. And it's like, what the fuck do you know? And then when you ask those crackers, what the fuck do you know it is about law enforcement? Oh, well, you know, I've been to jail and I know. Okay, so you're talking to a cracker that's been locked up. The difference is whatever it is that you did, you made it to the prison. A lot of times we don't make it. It's all relevant. Don't tell me to man up. TJ Boxing Sports, salute. Don't tell me to man up. I have feelings. And in this world, we're not allowed to. Listen, if you gotta go home and punch the air like Trey from fucking Boys in the Hood, do it. You don't let these people see you sweat, but listen, you know yourself. If you got to go home and cry about it for about 10 minutes or an hour, do it. But don't let them see you sweat. You know why? They're going to think you a bitch, and you're going to have women calling you a bitch. We're not allowed to feel, remember? So here we have a woman, a born biological woman, who got depressed from living like a man. Ain't so easy. It's not. Listen, fellas, when you living with your woman or you married, like myself, let me give you an example of me. I lose my crib, the lights go off, we get thrown out. Philip D, salute. Are they gonna look to my wife or look to me? They'll be like, y'all lost your house. You lost the car. You got to go to this parent's house, this relative's house. Wait, what happened? They ain't gonna be asking her. When they go to my wife, you know what they're gonna ask her? What did he do? How did he let that happen? Why? I'm head of household. Me. It falls on me. They ain't gonna look to her. Is that true or not? So regardless of what the situation is, we always got to man up. She didn't even go, Ned didn't even go through any trials that I recall. And she still done lost her fucking mind. She was going to strip clubs, bowling. What problems did she have? And she still lost it. What do we tell other ethnicities when you're black? Don't you fucking dare tell me how to feel. You don't know. And what do the racist motherfuckers say? Oh, well, it's not like 1960. Motherfucker, you was born in like 1999. What the fuck do you know other than what you see in a book? The fuck do you know? Don't tell me how to feel. You don't know what this shit is. I've told women the same thing that didn't know any better. Like, yo, don't fucking tell me. Yo, shut up. You don't know what it's like. Fellas, you ever hung around that girl that you're dating and you're like, you got a lot of male friends. You ever have, fellas, watch this. I ain't gonna turn the show into that, but listen to this. You ever hung around that chick that tells you, oh, I just hang around a bunch of dudes. I just have a lot of dudes. You know, I don't hang around with bitches because they're haters. I'm sorry, hater wasn't a term that we used back when I was single. The term was just jealous, because bitches is jealous. You ever had a chick that you was trying to court or thinking about courting and she said that? You're like, oh yeah? Vince, what up? Oh yeah? All right. One day, I was at a diner with this shorty. Dominican chick, big old fat ass. And she's talking. Paul, what up? And she talking. And she give me that spiel. Yeah, you know, I hang around a bunch of dudes because, you know, chicks be jealous and shit. They be trying to fuck your man and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, Jeff Spark in the building. I'm like, how many niggas you roll with that they want to fuck? But, you know, I just listen. Y'all know me. I do more listening. I'm just sitting back. So all these dudes are just your peoples, right? Yeah. Now I'm out on a date with her. It's about 10 o'clock at night. Her beeper keep going off. Beepers, y'all. You only had a cell phone. You had the old Motorola with the flip that'll leave the X-ray mark on your ear if you use it too much, if you was a drug dealer or a doctor. I was still on beepers, y'all. And we at the table and she... Saturday fucking night. It's about 10 o'clock. We in this diner. I'm trying to get to know you. And your pager does not stop blowing up. And I'm saying to myself, those are your friends? Oh, yeah. I told them I was out. You told them you was out and they're still beeping you? Like, when you're done? I said, let me ask you a question. You ever dated any of them niggas? No. They're your friends? Yeah. They ain't your friends. They're waiting their time. Oh, my God. Shauna, what up? Happy New Year. Oh, my God. I said, oh, okay. They just your friends? They're like your brothers? Watch this. Take this quarter. I don't care how many of them paged you. Pick one. Call them and say, ask them what you're doing, and I'll be at your house. You have a free house? You have an open house? I want to come give you some ass and see if he say no. You know she ain't put that quarter in the phone, right?
What?
I said, go ahead. I said, I want to listen. These are your friends? Throw pussy at them. I said, pick any number. You've looked at that fucking pager about 5 times already. End the conversation. Smashed her later that week. It was all right. Curvy, but she wasn't good in bed. It was a nightmare. But anyway, back to the topic. So she was in the hospital for depression. She was suffering She wrote, for the same reason that many of the men she met were suffering. Now listen to this, y'all. I need you to listen to this. She was suffering for the same reason that many of the men she met were suffering. Their assigned gender roles, she found, were suffocating them and alienating them from themselves. Now, a lot of this shit y'all women may be hearing for the first time. All right? Telling you, we deal with a lot of shit. We do. Just listen, and please don't try and make this your argument. I'm making a point here. Please don't turn this into, but women, look, we know all about it. But I'm showing you something that you might not know. You may or may not know. Just because a man is not hanging out with Queen in Iraq, shooting guns and throwing missiles at Cobra. It's a little inside joke. Look, sometimes we'll need therapy over something not simple, but something that's not violent. People seem to think that men only go to therapy when they come from war or had something insane, like, oh, I was in the building and the building collapsed and I was trapped for 2 days. No. We feel, but we don't when we want to show y'all that shit, because you know what? You know what a lot of women do? I'm not saying all of you. A lot of women take that kindness for weakness. Not even that kindness. They'll take that shit and hold it over your goddamn head. Some women are mental terrorists. Now, I want you to understand what she just said. Manhood is a leading mythology riding on the shoulders of every man, she wrote. And they needed help. You hear this? If men are still really in power, then it benefits us considerably to heal the dyspeptic at the wheel. Miss Vincent practiced another feat of immersive journalism for her next book, Voluntary Madness, My Year Lost and Found in the Loony Bin. Shit. Holy shit. The idea came from her after her Iron John unraveling, when she had committed herself to the hospital as a suicide risk. So she was parading around as a man so long, and she got so depressed seeing what we go through that she fucking put herself in a loony bin. She legitimately couldn't take, wow. She didn't get into no fights. There was no mention of a bar fight or her trying to bag a chick, you know, because she was dating, right? Her trying to bag a chick and the chick said no, but she really liked it, but couldn't reveal herself because it'll blow Ned's spot or nothing. She was going to work and hanging with the boys, and she saw what the men went through, and it weighed on her, and she went into the goddamn psych ward, y'all. This is crazy. While in treatment, she says she thought to herself, Jesus, what a freak show. All I have to do is take notes, and I'm Balzac. What transpired was less tidy than a self-made man, however. As she toured mental institutions, a Bellevue-like Urban One, a high-end facility in the Midwest, and finally a new age clinic, Ms. Vincent found herself increasingly mired in depression and juggling a cocktail of medications. Wow. The book's conclusion did not endear her to her reviewers, as she exhorted those in extremities like, I'm sorry, y'all, it's late. I was working all day. Like her to move on to Put Your Boots On. Look at this, Voluntary Madness. This is another book that she wrote. All right, this is going on about her books that she wrote and who she survived by. This is an interesting read. Getting dangerously lost in her work was nothing new, she added. She disappeared into someone else. Yo, look, man. Y'all want to read, like, her name is Norah Vincent. There's a whole, the fuck? That's the book right there. There's a whole, like, documentary on what she did. And it's not cool, man. Sure will in the building. Salute. Whoa, what up? Frank from the land, salute. Anthony Bolton says, I can top that. In my mid-20s, I was my mother's caregiver before she passed away, and my ex-girlfriend called me a mama's boy. Keep in mind that she knew I had to feed and bathe my mom, shaking my head. Well, that was an ungrateful smut. And I hope you don't talk to her ever again. I hope you stop fucking with that fucking scumbag bitch. Because you know why? If that bitch had a baby and she was bedridden and had to be bathed and fed, she would hope that baby would grow into an adult and return the favor. But you're the mama's boy because you were supposed to be giving that bitch all the attention. Now, check this out. Your mother's supposed to birth you, raise you up till you're like 18 or whatever, and you boot you out and you on to your life. That's supposed to happen. Right? It's supposed to happen. But, the audacity for her to say that to you. What are you supposed to do? Put your mom in a nursing home? I bet she didn't have a good relationship with her mother. Better question. See, when women start getting funky with you, always ask what their relationship is with their father. And then watch their face. Sure will say, my son's mom called my mom a buck-tooth bee. Or she was in ICU because I wouldn't give her none. I'd have put that bitch in ICU right next to my mom. Ain't gonna violate me. Ain't gonna violate me. If anybody's taking care of their parent and you with somebody, if they don't understand that, then you need to be away from them. Exactly, true. Well, that's why she's a fucking ex. So now, back to topic. This woman, Norah Vincent, lived life as a man. Now, I listened to the documentary. Forgot where I listened to it, but I just found it very interesting that this woman lived as a dude, and I do recall she didn't go through any real hardships. That's the shit that bugged me out. I said, what fucking hardship did she go through, though? Seriously. She didn't go through any hardships, man. She didn't go through no hardships. I was thinking that maybe I'm anticipating because I was listening to the story. I was thinking, maybe she was like at a bar one day and some dude, like something out of a movie, like some dude tried to start a fight. And she's like, yo, I couldn't knuckle up. Or I was dating this girl and she wanted to have sex and I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Something. But it was none of that. She was in sales and she got depressed watching what the other men went through. Hey, Paul, what's going on, Paul? Man, mortgage is due in 3 days. We don't get paid until another 5 days. This is going to goof my credit up. I'm on child support or I got to make this payment. I got to juggle between keeping my phone on or paying this mortgage, but I got to pay child support. I need about $1,300. I'm only going to make a grand. I'm going to be $300 short. I don't know where this money's coming from. But anyway, how you doing, Bob? Bob, same shit. I gotta decide between paying my phone bill or putting gas in the fucking car. Well, how you doing, Jack? Ah, wife keep coming home later and later. She told me she not happy. Well, anyway, y'all saw the Knicks game, and then we just carry on. So those Knicks, how about those Knicks? Yo, with the Giants, what we getting in the draft? And Ned, where you from, Ned? Boston? Boston? Seen anybody? Nah. Well, yo, we going down to the ladies' club. We're regulars, man. They don't even charge us at the door. We're just gonna get a $5 beer and just, you know. And then after work, they go get that beer, and they're talking about the shit that they have to deal with in the bar with naked women. They're not even tipping. They just, yeah, you know, shit, life's hard, man. But, you know, I'll see how that work tomorrow. So they all go back to real life, and Ned is like, oh, shit. A condo. I said that before you got here. I said, can you imagine if she had been in blackface? Holy shit, that'd have been a whole nother headache. Cause she'd have got fucking patted in New York. This was in the early 2000s. She'd have got patted down for sure, somewhere. Maybe not where she lived in the Lower East Side. No. She definitely would have got patted down Lower East Side. Definitely. You're a little too far downtown. Looking ass. So this is the shit we dealing with. The she paraded as a white male in New York. She ain't deal with no racism. She ain't deal with no fucking law enforcement. She got depressed listening to us talk about how fucked up shit is. But you know what she never wrote? You know what she never spoke on? She never said that those dudes felt like her. They might have been down talking about their days. You know, they're doubting the fidelity of their wives, or late car note payments, or gas in the car, juggling money, the kids, and all this other shit. They came to work every day. And it was not suicidal. You know what it was? When they got up, they took a breath, their feet hit the ground, thank God I'm alive. I'm just going to go out and grind and see. I'm going to see how I can make this. Do you got any overtime or what? You know why? Ladies, ain't nobody going to feel fucking sorry for us. That's right, truly chosen. When you're a man, it just comes with the fucking territory. It was another day for them. I'm late with the mortgage payment. My credit score is gonna take a 20-point hit. No problem. As long as I'm not out in the street. You need the money. You need the mortgage payment on Thursday. I ain't gonna have it until Saturday, and it won't be processed until fucking Monday. You're gonna get it. You're just not getting it Thursday. You're gonna get that shit on Monday. I'm sorry. You want on Thursday? I don't get paid until Friday. The check don't clear until Monday. Now, what's next? Oh, shit. The lights, the gas. Okay, I'll have it. What's my food budget? That falls on you, man. And whatever bullshit you're going through at work, you leave it at work. Because when you come home, your little shorties run up to you, Daddy, hey. And what you don't need is your fucking woman. Where you going with that? What's going on with you? She didn't have none of that, and she went to the fucking hospital.
Whoa!
What? She didn't have none of that, and she went to the fucking hospital. You understand? I hope you guys understand that shit. This is why I'm doing this show. She wasn't going through any of that shit. Ned had to make shit up. But Ned was around a bunch of real men who worked a real job, who was grinding every day, and they just talked about their problems. But they found time to escape that reality through bowling and going to a gentleman's club. She never said that they were disrespectful. She never said that they were womanizers or nothing like that. They just got with each other to escape everyday life. So pardon fucking me when we as men, when we're talking about anything and a woman chimes in, and now she can chime in, but I get pissed off when a chick, a couple of times in my life, a woman told me, yo, why are you belly aching? You remember that term? Quit belly aching. I fucking balled my fists up like, bitch, you have no fucking, you think this is my only problem? I got other shit that I don't even feel like talking to you about. This right here is tip of the iceberg type shit. Hold up, y'all. She was making noise. But I'm allowed to vent. I'm fucking human. Again, this woman who was a lesbian, this woman was living as a man and couldn't take it. 18 months? All of those dudes, I'm assuming, were over 30. 18 months, you go to the loony bin? And I'm not clowning her because she took her own life. But this is a lesson. Now watch this, y'all. Eric H, salute. Now watch this. What about the men that can't take it? Because there are men that can't take it. Let's Google. Let's go to Google. Male fluid side. Because you know. Oh man. Okay, pick it. I could pick something. Okay, whatever. Deaths by fluicide, 100,000 resident population in the United States from 1950 to 2019. Since the 1950s, the fluicide rate in the United States has been significantly higher among men than women. In 2019, the fluicide rate among men was over 3.5 times higher than that of women. However, the rate of suicide in both men and women has increased gradually over the past couple of decades. And I don't mean to laugh. This is an amazing thing. Fluicide statistics. $1.2 million fluicide attempts. 45,979 Americans went in 2020 by fluicide. Fluicide is the 12th leading cause of death in the U.S. Wow. Let me read this. The rate of fluicide is highest in middle-aged white men. Pause. I'm going to assume she was around mixed company, but a majority of them were white men. Listen, a white man will lose his shirt in the stock market or lose his job, and all of those things I mentioned, the mortgage, the house, the kids in school, some of them be on child support. And just like that, you go from living check to check, making about $4,000 a month, and it's gone. And you have minimum savings. It's like, yo, what am I going to do now? I know. Bomb! Game over. Yeah, 88, definitely it is. And this is nothing to play with, man. This is nothing to play with. And I'm pointing out the hardships that we go through as men. Here you have a woman who went undercover. She never thought it would lead to this. Now, they did say that when she goes undercover and does her journalistic work, she becomes the person that she is. She immerses herself in the work. Could that have played a factor? Probably. But I just find it strange that her being a man for 18 months, a man named Ned, is the shit that pushed her over the edge. I just find that odd. That's right, Trill Will. Because of that stat I just read, black men, we tough as shit. We're born into a world that hates us. We have to be strong. We have to be. But we are human. And when we do vent, I don't want to be told that I'm bitching and moaning about something when I'm dealing with real life shit, because you might just be hearing the one thing that pushed me over the edge. You don't know if my mama's sick, my daddy's sick, or another relative, or my dog just died, or you're about to lose your job. You don't know what people, don't I always say online, don't stop bothering people. You don't know what people are going through. This is their outlet when they really need therapy, but that's another conversation. Yeah, Queen, it go like that because he can't handle it. And rather than being told he's being a bitch, you know what? On some Hindu shit, I'll come back as a goddamn flower. Boom! Game over. Now she got to deal with it. And guess what? Our shoulders are made to carry shit. Your hips are made to reproduce. And then you realize you're not as strong as you think. What are you talking about, Drew? Well, I'll tell you. Because this leads into the strong black woman conversation. Here's my question. Who the fuck's gonna take care of the strong black woman in 50 years? You know, the woman that says, I do it by myself. I don't need no man. I don't need nobody. Let me make it easy for you. The strong black woman with no kids. Who's going to take care of her? I want to do a show about that. Who's going to take care of the strong black woman? How much is it going to cost for you to live in 50 years? And can you do it by yourself, strong black woman? Can you do it by yourself? Think about what I'm saying. A single, strong black woman, can you do it on your own? It's just a question. How much does it cost? How much is it going to cost you to live on your own? Can you do it when you retire on half of what you're making now? In about 30 years from now, cost of living goes up like this. You might have a pension. It's about a half of what you make now. Can you live on your own, strong black woman? Or does it make sense to have someone? Remember when I did a few shows ago, Let's Make a Deal? You can either A, be on some Golden Girl shit. Brothers, if you're single or whatever, hook back up with your frat boys and get a house and pay the house. Pay the house off or something. But being alone is not the move when you get older. It's really not. It's really not. Everybody has had those grandparents when they just couldn't move no more. It fell on your mother and it fell on you to go take care of the business. Shauna, some people can live correct. Some people will be better off living. Some people will live better than others. I know when my grandma started losing her mind, my grandfather was there. And then when my grandmama died, we were there. You understand? Shauna, you already went through that. It's better when you have family. Or if you don't have like family, you have friends. I just did a show called Let's Make a Deal. I would like to see black women partnered up with black men. Put the mother effing looks aside. Lower your visual standards, because we are in a time of crisis. Go back and look at the goddamn show, man. We got to fix this. Because here we had a woman, there was no kids involved. She was a single white male for 18 months. And because she heard about what these men were going through, she offed herself. She wasn't going through that shit. She wasn't built for this. She wasn't built tough. Now, unless there's some new thing about her that I didn't see, that she had a screw loose or something, look, I don't know. But I thought this would make for a great conversation, because this proves men's point. We ain't got it easy like that. That James Brown song, This Is a Man's World, ain't been a man's world for a minute. We deal with a lot. And on top of what we dealing with, you know what's over our head chronically? Feminism. I'm trying not to say the word. I heard it's a buzzword on social media now. But feminism is all around us. These single brothers can't go out on a date right now, and meet a woman, right? And if they get lucky, have casual sex, and they might not be so lucky if the woman decides, shouldn't have did that, or let you have a little bit of money. He raped me. And this is 72 hours later. It's like, oh shit, no, it was consensual, man. Well, you jammed up now. Until we sort this up, you gotta come with us down. You can go sit in central bookings for a minute. Innocent until proven guilty? No. You're a flight risk. I'm telling you. We got all kinds of shit. It's not easy. It's not, man. The moral of this story is it's not easy being a man. In this day and age, I still hear women talking about, oh, y'all get everything and y'all do everything, and you know, y'all, it's the man's world. It's like, bro, no. It's no. We got shit hard. If there's a draft tomorrow, you know how hard it is being a man? If you lived in the Ukraine right now, I think from like 60 to 16 or some crazy shit. You remember that? You're going to war unless you're an only child. Who was allowed to leave the fucking country? The women and the kids. What are we talking about? She wasn't an actor, Shauna. Flatboy Plays, salute. She wasn't an actor. She was a writer. My brother Theo in the building, salute. She was a writer. She was a journalist. And she went undercover as a man. And 18 months later, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. Living like a man. And I want to point out, her listening to her co-workers' problems is what broke her in half, because she couldn't believe what the fuck they were going through. And she wasn't going through it for real. I don't recall her saying, oh, I was late with my mortgage or bills or kids. She had none of that. She would go home and take the shit off her face and be like, God damn, they got it bad. And you know what else? Man, I wish I could play the audio. She couldn't believe how distant and disrespectful the world was towards men. The audio, it gets more in depth. That article really didn't do it justice. She couldn't believe how tough the world is with us. And it shocked her how we were just so matter of fact about it. Shauna, point is, she couldn't take it. She couldn't take being a dude for 18 months. That's nothing. That's nothing. Because we live it every day. We live it every day. It's called shock. She went into shock and couldn't recover. You know what shock is? Me going to fucking Vandalia, Illinois to my Uncle Luther house, God rest the dead. And I'm just out on his land, and a fucking bug the size of a fucking crab lands right on my chest. I'm from the city, God damn it. This shit lands on it was the size of a crab with wings, man. When I looked down and saw the shit, they had big ass eyes, and I saw my reflection in the eyes. All I could do was scream. He laughs. The bug had a name. He said, yeah, they out this kind of year. They out here. You gotta be careful now. You know, you ride your bike when things hit you upside your head. You think someone throwing at your head, man. You gotta be careful now. With his gold ass teeth and his loud ass. I'm like, no, how about this? I'm going inside and I'm not coming out. That's how I handle it. Queen, she might have had mental illness. What I'm saying is, her parading as a fucking man for 18 months is what put her over. She couldn't take it. You see, whatever problems we had for real. We don't have the luxury to say, yo, man, I got all these problems, and boom, you just said that you don't respect people that commit suicide. Well, males commit suicide because mortgage and bad marriages and late bills, and then to top it all off, you at the bar trying to sip away the pain, and the fucking Chicago Bears lose. Then he goes in there and blows his brains out. I'm like, damn, over the Bears? No, it wasn't only the Bears losing. Did you know he has $100,000 in debt going through a divorce? His house is going into foreclosure. The lights were off. He ain't had internet in 2 months. Did you know that? He was living out of his car. Did you know all of that? Then he come over here and the fucking Bears lose. Nah, Plat Boy, I already know about Texas. All right, man, fuck. Night Train, salute. I'm not saying to respect anybody that does anything. I'm not saying that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. My point is, this woman saw what we go through as men, and that triggered her. Yeah, Queen, you'd be surprised. A lot of people been there, done that. A lot of people been there and done that. But what I'm saying is, not everybody can handle things the same way that most people can. They can't. Not everybody can get on the floor and do 50 push-ups in one set. They can't. I look at some men strange when they can't do 5. Like, bro, come on. Really? You can't do 5 push-ups, motherfucker? You're not handicapped. bro, see Night Train, see? Things like that. Things like that. Leaving your kids going off the war. You know what I mean? Older OGs I spoke to back in the day. You know how many Vietnam stories I heard? I don't agree with fluicide, but I understand it. I understand. I don't agree with it, but I understand. That's why people need help. And what I'm saying is, this woman went to go get the help, but she still checked out because she couldn't take it. And of all things, it was her living as a man for 18 months. DP Rocker, salute. I just found that really rich. That's what did it. And again, she was not having those problems that the men were really having. And she noticed how society treated these men. Oh, he a man, he could take it. Take it like a man. We've all heard these things. Stop bitching. Why you whining? Stop being a bitch. Take it like a man. What does that mean? You know what it means? We know what it means. Better bring your ass back to work tomorrow. I don't care how you feel. How else these bills gonna get paid? Yeah? You late with whatever payment? Go to work, work some overtime. No one's gonna feel sorry for you. World don't owe you understanding. Yeah, you got a headache? Take some Advil. What about these men that work these jobs? They have no health benefits. I knew a dude that worked construction. He parked the car. He was limping back to the building. I was on a basketball course. I looked. I ain't gonna say his name. I walked up to him. I was like, yo, what's good? You coming out? Come out, play ball? And he looked at me. He had tears in his eyes. What's up? What happened? I said, yo, I just got to get upstairs. I got to get this boot off. I dropped the beam on my fucking foot, and I don't know what I'm going to see. I looked down at his Timbs. He had construction Timbs. On the side, inside, I saw the blood coming through the goddamn boot. I said, hey, yo. Did you go to the doctor? You said a beam fell on your fucking foot? He said, yeah. You been to the doctor? He says, nah. If I go to the doctor, you know, I can't, I ain't got no insurance. I'm gonna have to pay the fucker. And if he tell me something I don't want to hear, I can't come back to work. I gotta finish this job. Why? Rent due. Daughter needed some clothes. Girlfriend not working. And she in the house. He's limping back to the fucking... Yo, I had to call his brother. And I said, look, man, don't tell him I sent you. Just go to the house and check on his foot. His brother called me back. He said, yo, man, I had to call the ER. I had to call the ambulance for him. The beam fell on his shit and broke his shit so bad, the fucking bone bucked through the skin. He couldn't take the boot off. He's in the house screaming. When he got off the elevator, he heard him screaming. This girl came through the door. She said, man, can you call the ambulance, man? He don't want to go to the doctor. Now, he didn't lose his toes. He's lucky, but the big toe, that bone, that shit bust through the skin and it was bleeding so bad. He was going to try and fucking just walk it off and put some fucking Robitussin on it or some peroxide, wrap the fuck up and go back to work. Man, there's motherfuckers that got jobs with benefits that hope an injury like that happen. Boom, word. I'm staying out for 2 years and get all my money. He parked the car and was walking like Red Fox, slow motion. I said, yo, you good? You coming out play ball? He said, nah. He had tears in his eyes. I was like, what the fuck? Nah. Exactly, Mansa Musa. You need help? We do. Kane, what up? Snacks B. We do. But no one owes us understanding. So, we just gotta put in the work. You were absolutely right, Queen. You're absolutely right. And that's what we had to explain to him. Because knowing him, he'd have just fucking put some Epsom salt in the goddamn pot, warmed up the pot, dipped his foot in there, and wrapped his shit up and tried to go to work the next day. I know the nigga. Yeah, man. But nobody feels sorry for us. Well, he lucked up, you know what I'm saying? He whatever union he worked for, whatever, they cut him a check because it did happen on the job. They gave him some dough and they got him through. And then when he actually, it was one of those things where, if I'm not mistaken, it fell on his foot, but it wasn't broken. It knocked the bone out of place, so it was dislocated, not broken. But it bust through the skin. And all they did was snap his shit back into place and stitched up the skin, and he healed up and he went back to work in 3 months. Yeah, Shelton, for real. That shit was crazy. He was very lucky, man. But I mean, look. So can we say that we can't disregard what we go through as men? It's not all peaches and cream, and we're not sitting on thrones and running the world like with an iron fist. I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Can we say that? Because I'm sure a lot of people felt sorry for Norah Vincent. I'm sure they did, but I just found it very strange. I said, well, shit. If she really wanted to get the feel of what men go through, she should have got herself a fake wife. They should have got an apartment. She should have went all the way in. And say, okay, we're going to get you this apartment and you're responsible for the rent. This is an 18-month thing. You're responsible for the rent. We're going to get you this apartment. And she's going to provide you the same headache that these men have, different ones, off of this rinky-dink job of sales that you got. You understand? So, these are the things that people don't talk about. And if y'all didn't know, now y'all know. Now y'all know. This woman couldn't hack it as a man for 18 months. No, she did the best she could for 18 months, and that when it was over, she took herself out. Let me go back to this fluicide rate. In 2020, men died by fluicide 3.88 times more than women. On average, there are 130 fluicides per day. White males accounted for 69.68% of the fluicide deaths in 2020. Holy cow. They are offing themselves. That's insane. My God. Damn. Something happened in 2018. That shit was through the roof, man. What? This is sad, man. This is sad. What is the number one cause of male fluicide? This can be especially true when it comes to mental health conditions, which tend to be under detected by men. Depression is the most common condition associated with fluicide. But when conditions like depression, anxiety, substance problems go undiagnosed or untreated, the risk of fluicide increases. I can attest to that, man. I've seen this. Can I tell y'all the story? Hen Dog, salute. James Doon, what up? Rashad, what up? Jerome King, what up? Story time. It's a true story. When? Today? Kane, that's today? Uh-oh. The fuck? In Queens. What the hell? Died Tuesday after he jumped from a Queens building in an apartment in an apparent fluicide bid, according to sources. The on-duty cop jumped from the roof of a building and left rack plot. Oh, snap. That was in the plaza. Yo, there's a whole mall over there. Right next door to the offices of the NYPD medical divisions. Yep. Oh, shit. That's Left Rack City. That's where you go to get your medical. Where doctors hold physical and mental exams. Corrections is in that building, and NYPD's in that building. I forget which floor. The officer who was assigned to the 121 precinct on Staten Island, he was in the sticks, was on modified duty and had been stripped of his gun and shield, police sources said. It was not immediately clear why he had been placed on modified duty. Let me explain something to you guys. When you're on modified duty, they take your firearm on and off duty, and they give you a rubber gun, and you're working inside the precinct because you did something and you're under investigation. But they don't want you hurting yourself or trying to enforce the law. So he was already modified, okay? Part of his modified assignment required him to attend periodic evaluations at the medical division. The sources said, wow. So they knew there was some shit going on. He jumped from the 20-story building about 12:30 p.m. and died at the scene. The name of the officer was not immediately disclosed. The death marks the first NYPD suicide this year. 3 officers were known to have died by fluicide last year. Listen, man. When I was in the academy, they told the story about a dude on Gun and Shield night. As soon as he got his firearm, he went backstage and did himself in. Bro, Andrew Gray, what up? Bro, that shit is real, man. Oh my God. The city saw a rise in police suicides in 2019 to 2020, leading the NYPD to step up its mental health outreach for cops in distress. I'm not making this up. This shit is real, man. In 2019, the department ordered its officers to complete a mandatory fluicide. I keep saying that because I don't know the algorithms of what YouTube is going to do. That's why I keep saying fluicide. The fluicide prevention training course, the NYPD also offers mental health resources through the NYPD's Employee Assistance Unit, the chaplains unit, and the police organization providing peer assistance support network. That's fucked up, man. Story time. Yeah, Queen, I don't know. So I've seen people that didn't do anything, but because they were around the situation, they said, until we figure it out, take this rubber gun, give me your shit, and sit over there until we figure out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I've seen situations where an entire tour got GO15. I ain't even gonna get into it, man. It's shit crazy. Anyway, story time. In the 90s. Sean, are you still in the chat? Because maybe she remembers this. I'm gonna tell you exactly when it happened. I'm gonna tell you exactly when it happened. The day it happened, the Bulls was in the playoffs. They were playing the Knicks, and I forget which game it was. It was the all right, Shauna, maybe you remember this. Building 17. All right. No, I'm sorry. It was during the Bulls versus I want to say it was the Sonics. Yeah, Jeff Spark. Yep. There's a whole mall. It was 12:30 p.m. That was lunchtime. Everybody was out and about. Everybody saw it. So check it out. I'm in the crib. 96, Jerome, exactly. It was 96. So it's the Sonics. I want to say it was the Sonics. Right? It wasn't the Suns. It was the Sonics. So they busting their ass, right? So I'm in the crib, right? Because I was gonna go outside right after, it was nice out. So I'm standing in my bedroom. I still lived in my mom's crib, right? So I'm standing in my bedroom, watching the game, and I see a big old fucking spotlight hit the other building. I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there? So I look out the window, and the fucking fire department got they got the big old fucking, the air shit. Like a big old pillow from where I lived. And I'm looking, I said, what the fuck? So I'm trying to look and I don't see nothing. I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody about to jump? So I'm watching the game. The game ends. Bulls win. It wasn't the end of the series, so the Bulls won that game. So I go to call my boy, be like, yo, meet me outside, because it was nice out, and he was gonna bring the rock. No, but you might have heard about this. So we was gonna go out and just shoot the rock around, right? But back then I played ball like every day. You know what I'm saying? Once a game go off, courts would get flooded, but it was like nighttime, but we was gonna go out and shoot the rock, right? So I picked up the phone and called my boy, because he lived in building 17, right? Put my hand on the phone, I heard, boof, woof, 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 woof. That's what it sounded like. Boof, woof, 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 woof. I said, what the fuck? I look back outside. It looked like something got ran over. And I saw the fucking firemen just walking away like this. So I go outside. Everybody's outside. So I'm like, fuck was that? They were like, yo, that nigga did it. I said, yo, that's a person? They're like, yo, that motherfucker skydived. And the dudes that were there, right? There was a cop there across the street, little white guy. He was shaking his head. He said he purposely missed the goddamn mattress. They called it a mattress, but the balloon, he purposely missed it. Purposely. We were like, what? He's like, yo, when he dived, he fucking like did the Superman. Like he purposely. And I'm like, whoa. I heard it. I said, whoa. That building's 33 floors in the air. I said, what the fuck happened? Now, here's the fucked up part. You know, I was like 21. So I'm looking to see who it is. And everyone was like, yo, you know who it is. Y'all know who it is. Because the nigga never spoke. I was like, well, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? They said, it's that Jamaican dude. I said, wait a minute. The Jamaican dude that always wears the Clarks? Yes. Now, here's why I'm bringing this up. He was a quiet dude. A lady, well, I'm gonna call her a girl because I've known her all my life, right? I known her since kindergarten. She lived in a building. All right, we're all grown now. She has a family on own or whatever, but in the 90s, you know how it is. You know, you reconnect and, you know, you just start, you know, fucking around or whatever. Turns out, okay, her mother moved out and left her a 3-bedroom. It was her older sister, and her sister's friend. It was I think she was either Hispanic or light-skinned black. I couldn't tell. I've seen her a bunch of times. I never like had interaction with her, but I do recall her being very loud and obnoxious. She was overweight, and I'm mentioning this for a reason. She was overweight. She was very loud, and she was always beefing at him. That was her baby's father. I remember they had a small little baby, you know, about maybe 1 or 2 years old, and he was just a quiet dude. Shorty told me he was from the military, and he knocked her up, and she kept the baby, and she was always. I do recall. She was, when I did see them in public together, she was always barking at him. So he jumps off the fucking building and kills himself. So when I walked close, I saw one of the goddamn shoes. I saw one of the Clarks. He landed on the concrete by the park. The shoe was all the way in the street. I said, what the bro? So I'm like, why'd he do that? Well, I got the inside fucking scoop. Straight from the horse's mouth who was around the situation. I said, what happened? Well, this fucking idiot of a fucking woman was playing games with the kid. And this is coming from a shorty that I've known all my life. You can see her, you can see the bit, you can see her, now you can't see her. You ain't got no money, you can't see her. No, you can't take her with you. No, fuck that, nigga. No, what you gonna bring? What you outside and blah blah blah. And he was always just quiet. In the building, out the building. I said, well, did they ever like fight or nothing? She said, no, she was always screaming at him. Like she was just angry. And always threatening to take the kid from him. Well, that day, she didn't let him in the crib. He says, look, I just want to see my daughter. And the word was, and I wasn't there, this is what she told me. He was outside, she wouldn't let him in. She said he didn't kick the door, he wasn't banging on the door. He just said, look, I just want to see my daughter one last time. Said, you'll never see him, and blah, 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 blah. You'll never see the child, da, 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 da. He said, okay, and he left. Now, she lived on the 30th? No, she lived on the 30th floor. So this is before they put alarms on all the buildings in New York. He walked right upstairs and jumped off. He walked up there, and somebody looked out the window and said, yeah, there's a dude up on the top of the building. That don't look right. And then he was on, he thought about it for a good hour. And he did it. And she was playing, according to what I was told by someone that was directly around the situation, she said, she was pushing him, very abusive. And he never hit her, never rose his hand. I said, did he beat her up or something? Maybe there's something you're missing? Because I was fishing come on, he had to have done something. She was like, nope, that dude was quiet. One day she said they were in the pizza shop and she was barking on him about something. And he was like, yo, could you just relax? And she mushed him. He dropped the money, walked out the pit. Bro, listen. Every time I saw him when he did have the child, he was walking real slow. You know how the yardies walk. He walked real slow and, he was just mad laid back. You walk past, he was a regular around the neighborhood. He didn't live around here. He was just, you walk by him, you give him a head nod. I was I was in my 20s, so he was in his 30s. So he was a little older. And truth be told, Nitty G, what up? You look at him and look at her. How'd that even happen? Was that a night of drinking and she kept it? What the fuck was that? Well, I felt so bad listening to that, man. I was like, man. But how I always tell y'all, sometimes you don't have to lift a finger, just leave it in the Lord's hands. Or Jehovah, or Allah, or that 8-armed elephant. Whatever you want to call them. Sometimes you ain't gotta lift a finger, because when she told me that story, I told everybody. Because we all know each other. We've been in school in the same area since kindergarten, so we all know. I said, yo, check what she told me. And people were like, oh, that's fucked up. And it's when you see the bitch, a week after that, you start seeing her, she outside with the kid, you look at her like, yo, you fucking maniac. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I learned back then, even before then, sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. Because one day, I called the house to see if she wanted to come outside because, I'm trying to get one in. No answer. And I'm like, I know she home. What the fuck? So then my boy calls me. He was like, yo, what? We in front the building, yo. You need to come outside. I'm thinking it's beef. So my stupid ass runs outside. Ambulance peeling down. What happened? You know who the fuck's in there? Nope. That fat bitch that made her man jump off the fucking roof. I'm like, what? What? I said, what the fuck? I was like, yo. The fucking shit was over the face. I'm like, wait a minute. What? This was 2 weeks later. I'm like, what the fuck happened? I see Shorty coming out. I was just calling the house. I see Shorty coming out. I said, yo, you good? She was like, she was in the house all day. Well, Mark, what up? I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened? So everyone starts walking up. I'm like, chill, 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 y'all. She don't need no fucking audience. I grab her by the hand. Her sister is on the phone crying and talking to somebody. So I grab her by the hand and say, yo, what happened? Got up, continue with our day. She ain't come out the room. Sis goes to work. I go to work. We come home. We're cooking, we're cleaning, and we're laughing and joking. We say, yo, did you see so-and-so? And we noticed the door wasn't open. We call her, she ain't come out. We knock on her. We thought she like left and she left the room. Knock on the door, she's still in the bed. So then her sister went to go push her. They go, wake your fat ass up. And the body was tight. The rigor mortis already done set in. Passed in her sleep. Heart attack. And she was overweight. Nah, Snacks, I don't live in the projects, bro. Nah. Really, no, we ain't live in the projects. Far from it. But ain't that crazy? They don't know when she passed. She could have passed the night. They said they got up, got dressed, ate breakfast, left, came back. Because that's another thing. She wasn't working. Left, came back, cooked dinner, sat down, was talking all out. I was like, where's so? I forgot. I don't even know her that chick name. Yo, did she probably left. Did she sleep? Man, wake your fat ass up. Yo, what the fuck you doing? Man, we got food out here. Da, da, da. Wake up. She said her sister damn near like jumped on her like to push her, and it was like stiff. And she screamed, ah! They don't know how long she was gone. But she probably died that night they went to sleep. She ain't make it and just went ahead with their day. Came back. The rigor mortis done kicked in. Whatever position she went to sleep in, that was it. That was it. So I asked her, what y'all doing with the baby? Because now the baby has no parents. And the baby wasn't there. The baby was at the grandparents' house. She says, no, the baby's going to be taken care of. I said, man, that's fucking whack. So I told my boys, and you know, back then we was in our early 20s. I ain't going to tell you what, you know, and I ain't no saint because I contributed to the goddamn jokes. I ain't even going to hold you. I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. But, you know, looking back at it now, it's like, that's a goddamn shame. That's a goddamn shame. And she was in her early 30s. We was in our 20s. We was in our early 20s. And all of our older siblings was like maybe 5 to 10 years older than us. That chick was like maybe 30, 31. She was young. She was young. Heart attack. Now, who knows? She, like I said, she was already obese, but the stress of, you know, this dude jumping off. Because I do recall asking Shorty, like, what did she do when he was on top of the goddamn, you know, roof? And I'm not clear. Did she come up and try to talk him off the ledge or what? I'm not clear on where she was, but he did it. And whatever, man. Yeah, Kane, that sleep apnea is something crazy, man. That's how Sean Price died. He had sleep apnea. And, you know, that shit'll take you out, man. It's bad. It's real bad. Oh, I'm reading something. Damn. Anyway, that's some shit, man. Tom Etheridge, salute, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, Sean. The only thing I can think of, I don't know for sure. I don't remember. They said she went in her sleep. They said when they rolled her out on the gurney, they said the fucking the sheet was over her head, and they knew it was her because they saw her hair. And I'm sorry, it wasn't an ambulance. It was the oh God, what do you call those people? It was the fucking I forgot the fucking. I'm having a brain fart right now. It's NYPD that checks to see if it's a homicide. It was them. It wasn't an ambulance. It was them. Coroners, yeah. And NYPD came and they interviewed, and they had to check to see if it was any foul play. It was no foul play. They got up and went. They ate breakfast and then went to work, and then came back and was eating dinner. And they was like, "Wait a minute, where's so? What the fuck?" Yeah, they said they came, and IGM salute, man. They came and they did what they make sure they just make sure there was no foul play. It was no foul play. They weren't even in the house. Shit was crazy. I don't know, Shona. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what though? And Shorty, Shona, you know who she is. You know who she is. You know who she is. If I show you a picture of her, I ain't got no pictures of her, but Shorty, I'm talking to. Know her all my life. I'm gonna find a picture. I think she's on the gram. I'm gonna find a picture and send it to you. She lives in Building 17. She still lives in Building 17. But if I remember correctly, now I don't remember what she, but you know what? I'm gonna ask. She ain't gonna mind talking about it now. God damn, that was 96. That was a long time ago. So I'm gonna ask her, what happened with, what was the I think I just saw her a couple of days ago. Ain't that some shit? John Lennon, man, it's the karma's gonna get you and knock you off your feet. Crazy, man. Damn, Phenomenal Mexican said he was born in 96. Wow. I was about to go outside and shoot some jump shots. And this dude jumped off the fucking building, man. That was so sad, man. And I heard that fucker. That shit was crazy. Anyway, I ain't gonna belabor the point, man. But Norah Vincent, y'all make sure y'all go and look that shit up. Put the link in here. If y'all want to research it, there's video somewhere. That's it right there. Norah Vincent. Look that up. Look at the video and how that shit ended up. I mean, this shit was crazy. Men and women are definitely built different, internally and externally, man. And ladies, before I don't think a lot of you ladies are at the age where you say that to men. Before you tell a man stop being a bitch, factor in what he's going through, what he could be going through. Always assume. It's a lot safer for me to assume that people are going through the worst, because then it makes my approach to them more civil. You understand? You really don't know in this day and age too. You don't know what these young men that are raised by single moms. absolutely have to be more careful. These young black men are going through some shit. And young men, young white men are going through some shit. They offer themselves more than anybody. You heard the stats. Look it up, man. It's crazy. Mark said I was 22 in 96. I was 21. Yeah, I was 21. It was still in June. It was finals would be in June, right? Yeah, I was still 21. No. No. Yeah, I was still 21. I think so. You gotta be mindful, man. As I got older, you gotta stop bothering people, man. You gotta stop bothering people. That's why when these trolls come in here, the best thing I can do is, hit them with a wrench. I don't want to deal with it. That thing that I spoke about with that dude with the fucking that whole channel called Easy Road Errol or whatever the fuck. I saw his live and I just clicked on it just to listen. And it took me all of a minute to understand that this dude, there was something wrong with him. There was something wrong with his voice. He has a speech impediment slightly. He sounds slow. It's like, wow, I can't imagine having a debate or a conversation with a guy like that. No. You're not today. No. Yeah. Fucked up, man. Andrew Grace, salute, man. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I'll be back in the morning. You already know what time it is. I'm cook Eddie Hearn's ass tomorrow, and I don't like what he said about Tank. I'll see it. But let's be kinder to one another, please. This fluicide shit is real. Look up story of Norah Vincent. If you can find video, that just found it interesting. How for 18 months she was a man and she couldn't take it, and we got to live with it. That speaks volumes about what we go through as men every day. We literally have the weight on our shoulders, but our shoulders are meant for carrying shit. But I will say this: it takes a really good woman to make a stronger man. It really does. We need that recharge. Am I lying, fellas? When we out here working 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-hour shifts, and we come home with all the knives in our backs and coworkers we don't like, but we got to deal with it. A boss that don't like us, we got to deal with it. Traffic going to work, traffic coming home from work. If you take public transportation, the train is crowded. COVID is still out here. And we come home and all we want is a solid meal and the kids to be cleaned up and, a little bit of quiet. If you have that woman that has that for you, how you doing, babe? How's your day? It was rough. Okay, well, dinner's here, talk when you're ready. It doesn't get any better than that. You understand? That's not a lot to ask. We need to be more mindful. We need to be more peaceful with one another. We really do. That's right, Cam. We work for the family. And it's tough, man. Real fucking tough. And this woman, 18 months, she couldn't take it now. Could there have been something else going on mentally? Probably. But I just found this story, like, it was bugged out for me. I was like, whoa, 18 months you couldn't think being a dude? And she didn't even have any of the real problems that these fellas had. I promise you, she did. And one thing, that's what I'm saying, find the video. Between beasts in a building. You got to come on this platform with your people sometimes. Yeah. She didn't have the same problems that these men had that she worked around. But one thing that she did say was she couldn't believe that the world treated men the way they did. Surprise, this is us every day. 18 months, she couldn't do it to the point where she offed herself. Keep that in mind. So please do your homework on who this woman is. It's crazy. We ain't got it easy. But at this point in my life, I ain't considered going that far. But listen, like I said, we read it one more time. Middle-aged people, especially men, have the highest rate of fluicide compared to other groups. 80% of all deaths by fluicide in the U.S. are among men. Between the age of 45 and 54. Depression is the most common condition associated with it. White men most at risk. See that? I'll catch y'all in the AM. Much love, the appreciation to y'all, man. So to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App. This is a slow cook. How many subs we got over here now? Oh man, we doing great, man. 774, man. We should be monetized over there by spring. You know what I'm saying? Like and share the videos. I'm gonna have a pep talk Instagram soon. Follow me there. When I do topics, y'all, I just want people to get better. I want men to get better. I want my brothers and sisters to get better. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all think I'm rough on the women, but I'm equally as rough on the men. I'm still gonna do a health show that pertains to men, because men, as we get older, we got all kinds of shit going on. We die first. The ladies live longer than us. So it's imperative that we get our shit straight, okay? I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna have hard body J Timo up here too. So man, listen, let's work. I'll catch y'all on the rebound.